The North Side Moorish American Muslims have this thing that they've been saying for years. And they teach anybody who comes to Chicago, they say one thing to them more than anything: don't go to the South Side. Even if they first come to Chicago and they go up to the North Side, don't go to the South Side.
That's what they told me.
I'm going to read and tell you why. This is proof why. They say, even right now, you catch more that come from Texas to North Side, whatever you do is, since you're in Chicago, don't go to the South Side.
1930. Brother E. Neely M., 3718 Prairie Avenue, City. Islam, dear brother, your letter found me well and glad to know you have concurred everything that is not right, and I know that Allah is always with them, that is with him. Owing to the much confusion that is going on in this land among the Moors, I am just standing still and see just what they mean. That is why I never came to see you, as so much hatred has been said about me. And you and I am waiting to meet the law face to face and see what it's all about. And two, it is not safe for me to go amongst my enemies. And that is just who you have supporting you in your meetings. And they are also your enemies to you, and will see someday that I have told you the truth. I have always done good for you, and you seem that I am your enemy, but I am a dear brother to all that believe in Islam. I support your stand everywhere I go, and do not try to say anything against you. If I did, I would be against all that love the Prophet. So it is many things you should know that your friends are doing against you. So if you want to see me, come to see me at any time as you want to. I hate to come to your house with the law and have told me not to go around the South Side unless they are with me, and that is the best to do for you and me to watch our step. So love to all. Peace, your brother.
You can work with it.
Kirkman.
That's it. Well done. All right. Now you see why the Moors on the North Side are told don't come to the South Side. Because Milieu was scared to come to the South Side because he knew, I'm not Milieu, see Kirkman Bey. Because he knew what he had done and didn't do.
So you mean, so that spirit is still ingrained in them?
Yes.
Yes. Wow.
Even though the Cook Bays live on the South Side. Right on Indiana, they lived there.
They don't want to come to the Wild 100s.
No, this South Side. No, the Wild 100s is a long ways from here.
Yeah.
This is like the low end for you non-Chicagoans. This area is called the low end, Bronzeville. This is what this is called. This is the more strong. So when you go to the North Side, this is from here. That's Augusta, that's North Avenue, that's Wales, those streets, north. Okay. Most of our people, during the Chicago fire in the 1800s, most of our people lived where the water tower is today. But the fire got on Mrs. O'Leary's thing to burn, they said burn up the barn, was on the west side near Roosevelt Road and all in that area. But all of them flocked over to what is called, right now it's called the Gold Coast, was where we lived. And we took them in around the water tower. The Jews lived on Roosevelt Road, where you staying at, west of that. So when many of our people start migrating up here, there's two places they were heavily populated. That was Roosevelt Road, called West Side, and the low end, where Ida B. Wells helped a lot of people, social activists. So the West Side Moors, most of the people on the West Side, start moving on the North Side. So more like Coleman Hill, he's one of them. He's a good example. his people was from the west side. So they want to move to the north side to make a better life. That's where they moved. When you go through criminal activity during the days of Al Capone, Buzz Moran controlled the liquor distribution on the north side. And later formed a company that's recently just changed its name to something else. It was Moran Beverages. And Al Capone controlled the south side. That's where you at now. And on that note there, Al Capone got all of his training on thuggeryism, or I shouldn't say thuggeryism, I should say making money illegally through booze and prostitution. The first one to really make it profitable and do it with class, and I've told y'all, I've shared this with y'all before, was who? Who? No, Luciano learned from this man. Who said that?
Not Braswell.
You're right. That's his name, Mushmouth Johnson. Short, heavy-set Asiatic. And why they call him Mushmouth?
Wow, boy. Tell us.
Yeah, profanity. Every word was profanity. And his mother was what? One of the maids who nursed Abraham Lincoln when he was shot.
Wow.
He connected with a brother from Cuba. The brother from Cuba and him opened up this place on 8th and State, not far from where you stand, called Emporium. The Emporium, where they had sophisticated prostitution. It was called a parlor.
That's what was around there.
Yeah, it was called a parlor. It was a sophisticated parlor, and in the parlor, they entertained rich people, especially Europeans, who wanted the beautiful, voluptuous women that we had amongst ourselves. So, if they came to the parlor and one client was with their woman, they would sit in the parlor and hear music. The music was called AZZ. Later on, they put a J in front of the AZZ, and it's called jazz. Because at first they was there getting some. I didn't say it. Don't say it.
Yes, you did.
It's the history. It's the history. Wow. So when Al Capone got wind of how much money could be made, he moved on Cermak, 22nd Street. And he cut the rooms down. It wasn't no parlor, it was just a room big enough for a bed. That way he can get a whole lot of beds in his building. More than that, but we're going to get. But this is part of Chicago history. If you're interested in Chicago history, there are so many revenues to get this from, like the Chicago Historical Society, and the Museum of Science and Industry, the Oriental Institute. They have their libraries. You go find the days they open, you can go in there and get all this information, connect the dots. You say, well, what does this have to do with the Prophet Noah drop? Remember, when the Prophet was here, the era was called the Roaring what? 20s. Roaring 20s, baby. They was on top of it. Money was flowing, and they was getting down. So Sister Christina Price Bey, known as Christina, what was her real name? Roselle. We used to get a lot of history from her before she came. She told us that Al Capone didn't want anybody to clean up his prostitution house for Moors because they didn't steal. A lot of Moors who wanted work, when they were finished, or did what they did, they only allowed Moors to go in there. Now remember, Al Capone was Sicilian. You know, the Sicilians are heavily influenced by who? Moors. Those are children. And if you look at the photo of Al Capone, you can see his jibs. You got Asiatic jibs, right? So, what other meat did you find in here?
It seemed like he was
like Governor Anderson Hill said, like he was caught in nooses, like trying to get back in good graces with Kirk.
He was. And that's on the surface. I believe from reading these letters, that was surface stuff.
Right.
But he had no intentions. Because here, let me read the next letter that I didn't read to you. Check this out. Now, remember, I said I was saving this for the next one. Remember, this is 1930, and here's January 1931. Check this out.